Gallon did it very, very well.
Staying off him, virtually daring him to take it.
Al has been noted throughout his career as wanting to go inside, particularly favouring his left hand, and they are prepared to give up that outside shot.
3-on-1. Ricky Grace doesn't get it to go. Knocked away by Clausen. Grace luckily gets the rebound, and they steady up. Allen to Ellis. Shot clock, plenty of time. Still over 20 seconds. Deflected away by Pierce. Wildcats ball from the side. A sea of faces at the entertainment center. Looks straight from down at courtside. James Crawford takes the shot and gets the two.
Nice shot by Crawford. Crawford has worked very, very hard to regain fitness. He's a little short of match fitness right now. This is the sort of tournament and hit out that he needs.
There's Schaefer from Iowa State. Got it again. Working against Pinder, reaching in. Pinder is called.
Tiny Pinder's hand fouls are of some concern to Alan Black and the coaching staff of the Wildcats. They've worked very hard to try and convince him to keep his hands out of there. Most of his fouls come from hand fouls.
Pierce, top of the key. Inside to Davis, slapped away again. Just the thing we were talking about, Tiny Pinder.
Yeah, you can see that hand. He's
right across the
there.
hand.
As Sid Stevens has indicated, cut across the hand. Pinder has caught his second foul with 3 minutes 35 remaining in the first period. And that's bad news for the Wildcat, because there's an old adage in coaching: if he picks up his third, he could well see the remainder of this half on the bench.
Mark Davis misses. He scored 34 points against Hobart last night. He's got 2 so far tonight. Ricky Grace. That was ambitious. He goes again. Allen sitting the screen, then moves. Nice pick and roll. Couldn't get it to go, though. Now Green brings it down. Schaefer double teamed immediately. Great defense there by the Wildcats. Clausen under the basket gets the roll.
Good move from Clausen. And, of course, with Mark Bradtke out of the lineup for the 36ers, Dan Clausen will see a lot more time tonight.
Yes, Bradtke. Big problem for them. Someone needs to step up. Crawford can't get it to go. Pinder falling away. Off the rim, rebounded by Schaefer. He's working hard.
Not much offense there from the Wildcats. Alan Black would be concerned about that. It's fine to let them go to the races on the fast break, but they need to play some offense.
Schaefer. This is Green back to Schaefer. For 2. Hits.
Nice touch.
Tom Schaefer wearing Peter Alli's old number tonight. Peter in the lineup because of Bradtke going down.
That's his 8th point for Tom Schaefer. That's a nice move. There's a great drive there from Ricky Grace, Dennis. There is some concern that in the hurly-burly of NBL basketball that Grace could be prone to injury. There's not a lot of him out there, is there?
No, he's pretty slender. But so far, he's setting it up and looking good. Well, it's not easy to replace Cal Bruton. I guess they're not trying to. This young man has to find his own way.
If I was to show my age and draw back on the experience, I'd suggest that to compare Ricky Grace to Cal Bruton from last year was incorrect. But certainly, if you look at Ricky Grace now and turn 10 years off the clock to Cal Bruton, you're certainly looking at a copy out there. The man was a great point guard, and Ricky Grace certainly has all the credentials, and he's showing that here tonight.
Schaefer gives it to Pierce. This is Green. Pierce. Schaefer denied the baseline there. Good defense by Crawford. Clausen for 3. This is Pierce. And he hits. And he can get very hot.
That's why they call him the Iceman.
Explain that to him.
Cool and cool and cool from the three-point line is Darryl Pierce, and really with no conscience. Loves to take that shot.
I mentioned before, shooting over 40% career.
That's right. And from the three-point line was one of the first in the Australian leagues to consistently hit at that level. But there's another great dish from Grace. Pinder a little ambitious underneath and paid the price for it, though.
3-on-2. Schaefer to Green. Misses by a long way. Through the traffic. He traveled. He walked. Wildcats waste no time. Go back to Darryl Pierce. I think we go back to February. Was it 88 or 87? 11 three-pointers on a one night against Newcastle.
11 three-pointers.
Remarkable. Here he is, the man we're speaking of. Can't be underestimated.
Of course, shooters of his caliber are termed as streak shooters. Once they are allowed to get 2 or 3 shots on the trot, they're extremely hard to come back, because basketball is a confidence game.
Here's Grace. 2-on-1. Crawford. Slam.
33 playing 22, an 11-point spread here with under 1 minute remaining in the first period. And Shipway must be a little bit concerned out there, and Alan Black can be quite happy.
Well, he's on fire at the present time as Darryl Pierce. He hits another three-pointer. Mike Ellis with the clock running down. Just over 30 seconds. So Adelaide could play for the last shot, but why would they? They've got a 3-on-1 break, and the one is Grace. He had no chance. So we're down to 20 seconds now, and the Wildcats, pretty hard to see the clock, isn't it, Mike? He's looking directly up at that clock. So don't worry about the shot clock. We're down to 9 seconds on the game clock in this first period. Here's Grace. Tough on the players to see that clock. Fall-away jumper from Allen doesn't go. Down went Schaefer off the ball. He looks ruefully at Sid Stevens. We've got the buzzer for quarter time. And the Wildcats lead by 6. It's 33-27 at the Entertainment Center. Back at the Entertainment Center, taking a look at the comparative stats, John.
Well, let's have a look at these as they come up. We're struggling a little bit here, but really one of the big things that we have to look at in that first period was the spread of scoring, and the scoring for the Wildcats, 10 for Ricky Grace, but 12 for James Crawford. And Jeff Allen came up with 9 too, so that was a real good effort from Jeff Allen, certainly playing against Mark Davis.
Away we go for the second period then. This is Schaefer, 33-27. Pierce to Schaefer again. He certainly has an appetite for hard work. This is Davis, top of the key. Schaefer for 3. Off the rim. New clock. Davis the rebound. Pierce the shot for 3 and misses again. Now that came, I think, off Crawford, did it? Not according to Crawford. It's a Wildcat ball. Steve Davis in the game. Eric Watterson. Great depth for the Wildcats this year. Crawford, a couple of pumps, took the shot off. Strong rebound under the basket by Schaefer. This is Green. Waits for support. Pierce. Schaefer once more. And there's a foul off the ball as they were making position. It'll be called on Steve Davis.
Foul is number 11.
Steve Davis not too happy about that. And Steve Davis had a very good game last night for the Wildcats. He was able to put together 18 points against Westside Melbourne when the Wildcats were successful, 127-113.
Al Green, Lawson top of the key, dishes inside, nice pass, finished off by Mark Davis. 4-point game. Grace and Green. Watterson. Grace. Well, that was ambitious.
A little ambitious there, and certainly Mark Davis with another rebound. Down to Schaefer, and Schaefer's played most of that quarter now. Darryl Pierce from outside the three-point line. They're going inside to Davis now. They're trying to pick up that third foul on Tiny Pinder.
That was pretty good defense, too. Crawford got across to help, but it was just a great fall-away shot by Davis.
And there's often nothing you can do in that situation, Dennis, and Pinder has to recognize that. There's no crime in allowing a player of Mark Davis's caliber to score that point.
Off the rim, Clausen the rebound. A former Wildcat, a former many things. Davis banks it in off the glass. Scores a tie. 10 minutes remaining in the first half, and we've got a timeout. 33 apiece here at the Entertainment Centre. There's our scoreline so far in the game. James Crawford has 12. Ricky Grace has 10. Mark Davis has 10. That's interesting. Jeff Allen has 9. Darryl Pierce has 9. Tom Schaefer has 8. The leading scorers in the match. And Davis making a move in the last few minutes, John.
Yes, they've gone inside to Mark Davis. And Mark Davis will relish that freedom and that extra ball. You can see him working hard there on Crawford. Grace down to Watterson. Watterson very, very unlucky to rim out, but Crawford with another big rebound. And we'll have a hand foul here. Let's listen to Jeff Weeks.
2-0 on the arm, reaching in. He's got 2 shots. Got a substitution coming.
So we've got James Crawford on the line now for his first attempt. Let's see if we can pick this up on our replay. Crawford with a nice move now, goes inside. Cottrell beaten on the baseline, reaching in with the right hand, raking down the forearm of Crawford.
Misses the first of them. If he can come back at his best, the Wildcats on paper are very potent. Hinder keeps it alive. Crawford through the traffic. How do they call it?
They've
called against Crawford.
Against Crawford. And let's look at that a little bit if we can. I'm not sure whether we can pick it up on the replay, but the difference, of course, in the ruling for the NBL as opposed to the international ruling is that the defensive player was well in advance of the basket. If he had have been situated under the basket, the call would have gone the other way.
This is Schaefer. The Green. Looking for the open man. McKay. Schaefer's got it. Shot clock is down to 7. Green gets the shot off and hits it for 3.
Nice move from Al Green out there. He saw that the Wildcats have gone back into his own defense and he was prepared to take that shot. A little ambitious again from Grace. He's going into traffic, heavy traffic.
Crawford puts it up. Grace the rebound, if you don't mind, but lost the handle.
He can leap. He can leap very, very well. And, of course, that's sometimes a danger for a man that size. A little bit of hip and shoulder in there. Those boards are very hard.
We've got a new clock. Watterson. Pinder's done well on the offensive boards, keeping the ball alive. And this time the foul is called against Cottrell, reaching in over Pinder. James Crawford.
That's Simon Cottrell's 3rd foul. That has to be of some concern for Shipway from the Adelaide 36ers. With Mark Bradtke sidelined through injury, his big men are suffering somewhat.
Here's Ricky Grace. Watterson. Pinder. Turnaround jumper. Hits. Well, that's intuitive. You can't teach that.
That's Tiny Pinder.
What a great player he's been for these Wildcats. Pinder averaged 22 points last season. McKay, who also can get hot outside, John.
McKay is a streak shooter. They've been concerned about McKay because sometimes he gets too ambitious, but there you see some good hands from Green. But McKay again stripped of the ball. It'll come up for the Adelaide 36ers. But McKay can get a little too ambitious there, Dennis, and sometimes they're concerned to stop him and control him.
Substitution. Green goes out. Ninnis comes in.
Here's a player that I believe that will play for Australia before too long, Dennis. Scott Ninnis played extremely well in last year's inaugural season, and that just illustrates how the guy can play inside out.
Scored 19 points against Hobart last night. He's on the board tonight. The Adelaide 36ers. Just under 8 minutes remaining, first half. Torrance has it. Goes low post to Crawford, who worked extremely hard. Good defense, too, there from Davis. Denied him the baseline. Ninnis now surrounded. Watterson got a hand in there and knocks it out. It'll still be a 36er ball.
Extremely good effort there from Watterson. You see Shipway telling his players to make sure they get their hands up on defense. And we've got a substitution for both sides, with Pinder coming out for the Wildcats, Schaefer coming out for the 36ers. Jeff Allen back in for the Wildcats, and Mark Davis comes back in for the 36ers.
This as Reese. Cottrell surrounded. McKay got Ninnis open. Elects not to take the shot. Shot clock is down to 11. Now he goes for 3. Off the rim. New clock. Cottrell. Rather poor attempt. Davis the strong rebound. Allen did well. 3-on-1. Crawford to Watterson. And Watto doesn't do that too often, but it looked great.
Great move by Watterson. Withheld the shot, waited for the contact, really looking for a three-point effort there, but well-executed layup and a great dish from Crawford.
McKay tries to answer fire with fire, but misses. Watterson's got it again. The Adelaide 36ers, without one of their key players, playing very well tonight. Bradtke is out, but they lead by 4. Just under 7 minutes remaining, first half of playoff for this divisional title. Here's Torrance, surrounded, gets the shot up, doesn't go. Davis playing strongly at both ends of the court, the rebound. Ninnis takes the ball on. Oh, great move. Ninnis through the traffic with the left hand, banked it in off the glass, and will go to the line.
Foul 15 with a push. And shoot one. There we got substitution.
Let's have a look at this on replay now as Ninnis comes over, picks the ball up, a strong move, transfers to the left hand, soft off the glass. The guy can play inside out, Dennis, and he can post up with that height. He can take some of the smaller guys on, as was the case then. Although Ricky Grace can jump, he couldn't stop that drive from Ninnis.
So it translates to 3 points for the 36ers, who lead by 7. Here's Grace again. Trying to set the screen was Crawford. Watterson. Ninnis doing exactly what John was talking about. He was too tall for Watterson. He made it awkward. And the rebound is with Cottrell. Now McKay.
Interesting with this lineup. The 36ers have turned around a 7-point deficit. And they're now out there with Cottrell firing from the outside. McKay, Reese, Clawson and Ninnis. Not their biggest lineup, but doing very, very well and allowing their lineup players to take a well-earned breather.
Important time in the game. That ball came up Michael McKay. Watterson brings it down. Torrance. Pinder. Nice pass. Well worked. Torrance lofting it over the defense. And Pinder getting the basket. Back to 5.
Pinder also wanted the foul then. Cottrell came down with a perfect reply. Torrance been quiet tonight, Dennis. Finished up with 25 points last night. Played extremely well. Seems to be up and down tonight and not performing as well as we would expect.
Pinder, the jumper. Doesn't go. Oh, nice work, Allen. The tip in.
Nice move by Allen. Sweeping the boards there. Bridging the deficit somewhat. 41 playing 46 as Ninnis threads the needle once more. Goes through the traffic and comes up with a nice right-handed layup.
There's Grace surrounded. Lovely stuff. Ninnis, can he match that? No, he decides to steady.
Well, that's a good move from Ninnis. That's a nice, smart move. He doesn't want to get into a situation where they simply swap baskets. They need to come down now, the 36ers, and play some offense. McKay goes through, dishes the ball off, should be called for an offensive charge. No, I think I'm wrong.
Number 5 sliding in underneath. That's a
Funny.
Jeff Weeks,
substitution.
his 3rd foul.
Time left. On the left is the score of the Wildcats. On the right there, the Adelaide 36ers. Adelaide ball from the side. McKay will take it.
So far, Dennis, very low-scoring half at both sides, particularly the Wildcats, who've averaged 130 points for their 2 encounters in this K-Mart Classic.
Reese, top of the key. Misses. Allen. He's been impressive tonight. That was a strong rebound.
Played well.
Grace. Well, he likes to go to the boards. Allen there again. Well, he went down the court almost as quickly as the little man because he got the rebound at the other end. He was there as the trailer for Grace's ambitious shot.
Exactly. Very, very good effort. That's a travel.
Against Reese.
See, he's picked his pivot, put up, taken the extra step. Jeff Weeks has picked him up.
Torrance to inbound. Ellis brings it down. 3-point game. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Allen double team. Gives it up. Davis, look at that for a big man. One hand, then the other. Beautiful move. Driving to the basket, draws the foul.
Mark Davis showing all the skill and agility there that belies his size and strength. He moved down the floor extremely well. We might be able to pick this up for you if you see Davis going up strong, and it would take a tank to stop him when he's airborne right there. Great shot off the glass.
Look at those biceps, too. We don't really associate him as being a strong man, but that upper body is about as good as you're going to find in the NBL. Don't worry about that.
Great strength, Mark Davis, and a great performer.
James Crawford slaps it against the boards. That's a boundary throw-in. Clausen couldn't get it to go. Reese, 3 of them under the basket for the 36ers. Reese scores.
52 playing 45. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first half now as Mike Ellis comes it down. Finds Grace. Fire the three-point line. Unsuccessful this time, but it rims up. Like what it saw and came down. We've got a technical foul.
10 for the gesture.
10 for the gesture. Now.
10 White, he knows what he's got it for.
10 White.
We've got a tech foul call on Trevor Torrance, is it? 10 White?
Yes. Does he mean 10 red?
I can't pick that because I thought he was calling Mark Davis 33 for hanging on the rim.
So did I.
Which is a technical foul, but he's called Trevor Torrance for a gesture, and the 36ers will come down to the foul line with an opportunity to blow it out to 6.
Mike Ellis, as the skipper, has been called across to Alan Black, and Alan said, explain what happened. So Mike has had what every skipper or player would like to do to the coach. He showed him the gesture.
Well, he didn't have anything to draw with at the time.
I needed a camera for that. And the coach said thanks. So at the line is McKay, a Michael Malthouse lookalike, and he pops it in for a couple. 6 points the difference. Grace, gee, he likes to score.
See how effective he was from the right-hand side of the court, driving with the left hand away from the defense. Did that extremely well.
McKay again gets the shot off. Bad luck, didn't drop. Reese, second chance. Getting all ball there was Torrance. They battle under the board. Spills to Torrance. Ellis with no support. Takes on Ninnis, goes to the glass, doesn't drop. Torrance stripped of the ball by McKay. McKay keeps it alive. Crowd don't like the non-call there. Gee, it's getting pretty physical at both ends,
Well,
John.
these clubs have met in some classic encounters here over the years. Well, not here, but certainly in Perth. And if we look back to the match earlier in the year, Perth defeated Adelaide 118 to 110. And there's certainly every evidence that it's going to be just as close tonight.
Mike Ellis, 54-50. 36ers lead. Tough game, good game. Crawford lost the handle, recovers. Grace, he's a shooting machine. Allen, well, he knows where to go. It's called a 36ers ball. As soon as I think Allen sees Grace with the ball, he heads for the hoop.
He sure does, and that's a fairly good assessment of what might happen.
Well, not a lot of science about what the Wildcats are doing at the present time. It's fast, run and stun stuff.
They have to be very careful, because they're very keen to do well in this Classic, Dennis. They won the inaugural Classic in 1987.
Pierce, all-the-way jumper for 2. What a great player he's been over the seasons. Kempster.
First time on the floor tonight. Finds Crawford underneath. Jinking move.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
The old team at play with James Crawford posting up low, moving to the middle, and then coming back to the right on the baseline to take the shot.
Pierce. Oh, well done. Got it to Davis, who draws the foul. He was up looking to make contact, but unfortunately for him and the 36ers, he didn't score. But my word, it was well thought out by 2 veteran players there, Pierce and Davis.
We may not be able to pick that up, but just before that, Jeff Allen had given the shot every chance. He was turning to block Mark Davis out. Was completely unsighted when that ball came into Davis.
So he gets the second of them.
5-point split.
But misses. Rebounded, though, by a man we haven't seen much of recently. He's been sitting down, Schaefer.
Bad mistake there by the Wildcats. Critical situation there. The opposition should never be allowed the second rebound off a foul shot. That's fundamental stuff.
They clear out the low post, but Crawford couldn't get the shot to go. Grace goes in, was fouled. The shot doesn't go for him, but he'll go to the line.
Two shots.
Well, Dennis, I think you picked it early. There's a lot of feeling being generated here, and the 36ers have got everything to win and nothing to lose. They've got Bradtke on the bench. They're out there. They're away from their home pine. They want very badly to win this game, and the Wildcats, touting a couple of new recruits, they're expected to do well in their hometown, and there's a little bit of pressure building up against them.
And I'm not sure we don't really like it, John.
You're
sitting
right.
here.
Well, this is our town.
This is a fun way to spend the night, provided you're sitting here. Grace gets the second of them, and it's a 6-point spread now as Ninnis brings it down. Pierce has got it top of the key. Ninnis, oh, nice fake. Gets the shot off, doesn't go for him. Deserved better. Clawson stripped of the ball. Schaefer's in there. Fall-away jumper. Was he fouled? No. It goes the other way.
He's been called for an offensive foul. He's used the body to take the defense away to make the room for the shot.
As I mentioned, Schaefer from Iowa State. John Orr's Cyclones. Ellis, well, he tried something there, the old subterranean pass looking for Grace.
So 1-1, Jeff.
Schaefer was in there.
1-1.
And it's going to be a shooting foul, so Adelaide will take it down the other end.
Nice move in there, but you see Grace trying to go after that pass from Mike Ellis. Schaefer had position, reasonable call and quite an evident call, and that gives a one-on-one opportunity to Schaefer, who will go to the line with the scoreline at 59 in favour of the Adelaide 36ers to 53 for the Perth Wildcats. And that was Ricky Grace's third foul.
So the team foul situation has put Schaefer on the line. Allen, strong as you like. To Ellis. Clawson could have almost been called there. This is Grace, 2-on-1. Again, looking for that shot. Ninnis comes away, 3-on-1 break. Ninnis dishes it off. Pierce delicately missed. Schaefer stripped of the ball by Robbie Dempster. And it will be an Adelaide ball from the side. So great D by the Wildcats. Slow to get back initially, but they scuttled back.
Very desperate stuff out there right now. Pretty critical time. They don't want this lead to blow out. They want to eat away at it. We've got another call away from the ball.
Clawson, a foul off the ball, called against Dan Clawson.
Call for an offensive foul on the screen, a moving screen, quite illegal. He must be stationary when he makes contact with the guy coming around. And Sid Stevens has called him for an illegal screen.
Inside the last minute of the first half. This is Dempster. Side trailing by 6. Bounce pass inside. Fall-away jumper from Allen. Doesn't go. Ninnis the rebound. So we're down to 40 seconds now. 25 seconds on the shot clock. The Wildcats will get the ball back. Ninnis. The crowd chanting defense. Not much support for the 36ers, but they're a top side. Used a little support on the road. Schaefer, great move. Pass back from Pierce.
Nice move, but a little anxiety there from the 36ers bench as Schaefer is holding that right ankle. Oh, he seems to be up and moving now. Great move then, Dennis, by Schaefer. He was able to see James Crawford waiting in the middle, realised Crawford's great leaping ability, put that ball to the right and put a little jump hook over the top. And if we look at the time to go now with 17 seconds on the clock, the 36ers are doing it comfortably.
And, of course, the Wildcats will play for the last shot. Mike Ellis running the clock down. They make their move in about 7 seconds. Well, Grace just puts it up, misses. Dempster goes in and flicks it across the face, taken by Schaefer. And what have they called? Foul has been called against Jeff Allen. I thought it would.
He reached in across there, trying to deflect the ball. sends Schaefer once more to the line. 61 to 53 in favour of the 36ers. Schaefer with a chance to bring this up to an even 10.
1-1.
Well, an ambitious shot. We've used that word quite a few times tonight. To end the first half with time on the clock. Schaefer misses from the line, so we go to the locker room. 61 to 53. The Adelaide 36ers lead it at the half here at the Entertainment Centre.
Is exactly on line for what Perth have given up in the last two matches. 53 the Wildcats have scored, and that's exactly what the Adelaide 36ers have been allowing the opposition to achieve. It will take a big effort now from the Wildcats and a little show of character, I think, because the 36ers are on the top of their game.
Mike Ellis from James Crawford. Interesting, if we follow that line of thinking through, as Grace gets the shot away looking for his 20th point. Not forthcoming. Cottrell got the rebound and Pearce brings it down. Last season in the qualifying games, on average, as Cottrell makes a nice shot for two, on average the Wildcats outscored their opponents by only 1 point last year. So they got into some dicey situations. This is Crawford, stripped of the ball brilliantly by Green. Got a hand in there, it was all ball.
And the Wildcats have to be really tuned into their defense now. They have to work very, very hard on their defense. Davis out past the three-point line. He likes to operate from there. Nice knifing move, unsuccessful. And what have we got?
Right out the line, took the rebound. Side ball.
Side ball to the Wildcats. That was called, I think, on Al Green after the rebound. He was going in there looking for the ball off the boards.
He's used his body to gain unfair advantage underneath there to get that rebound. Mike Ellis now. Mike Ellis been really quiet as he goes to the baseline. He'll be looking to dish off, but that's a dangerous pass. There were 4 36ers waiting for that.
Pearce brings it down. Gets Grace off his feet. Schaefer's got it now. Davis driving the lane. Beautifully done. Strong off the glass. And we've got a timeout called by Alan Black. So as we take this timeout, the margin out to 12 points now, 65 to 53, with just under 11 minutes remaining in the third term.
Looking for a good time and a whole lot of thrill. Looking for excitement and a lot to build. Looking for some action and your favorite shows. Looking for the biggest star that everyone knows. You know you come to Seven when the right attitude comes. Seven puts you in the mood. In the mood. On Seven, lucky you. On Seven, Seven puts you in the mood. You got a hustle hit, you know you're doing it right. And there's no better place to be on Saturday night. We move on from the movies to the bar with Hey Dad. I come to like to say the super happy to dad. You know you come to Seven with the right attitude comes. Seven puts you in the mood. In the mood. On Seven, lucky you. On Seven, Seven puts you in the mood.
Absolutely. The Performance Company. We're in the mood. The Entertainment Centre on a Sunday night here in Perth. Not a bad crowd for a Sunday night. It's almost a full house for a pre-season game. We're talking about 7,000 fans here. There we see the two coaches talking to their players. James Crawford has 25 points. Mark Davis has 22. Ricky Grace has 20. Darryl Pearce 19. Tom Schaefer 16. Jeff Allen 15. And Mike Ellis has 10. Chipway would have reason to feel very happy this evening. They played very well, these Adelaide 36ers. What has been the difference? You talked, John, about a passing situation, a passing motion. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think what we have to illustrate to those watching the game is that Chipway has put together an offensive structure, a pattern which has his players cutting across the keyway and then setting a screen for the next player in line who then takes the cut across the middle. And with the players he has very athletic players, as opposed to what the Wildcats seem to be doing, apart from Grace, who penetrates very well. They are waiting to receive the ball and then working a little more one-on-one. The Adelaide team are playing more as a team at this stage.
Here's Pearce, 92 to 80. Ninnis goes baseline. Got through the traffic. It comes back to Ninnis, if you don't mind, and he pops it in.
Good ball player, Ninnis. Got a great future, in my view.
Watterson brings it down. Grace is back on the court. Allen isn't. Watterson. In fairness, it's going to take a while for this team to gel as Torrance hits. He's had a quiet night tonight, Torrance.
He has, and I think the point you make about the chemistry of the team is very, very valid. Alan Black is the coach, and Glenn Ellis have to work very, very hard at the chemistry of this Wildcat team. Sometimes you can have too much talent.
Oh. In goes Schaefer. Gets it. This is Watterson. The margin 14. Grace has got it now. Goes baseline. Denied by Schaefer. That was great D. He has to bring it back and give it to Torrance. Watterson to Pinder. He goes baseline, and this time Schaefer is called. Just putting a hand on the hip as he went by. Well, he's a hard worker, Schaefer. Right across the baseline, working initially on the other side, then came back to work against Pinder. That's pretty soft.
Yeah, pretty soft foul on the first step. Pinder worked hard on the baseline then, though. Great move from Pinder. Only 8 points tonight. Fairly quiet.
And when in doubt, we always give it to Tiny.
He likes to shoot, does Tiny.
Schaefer. Admirable qualities in this man. Davis. Top of the key, McKay. Takes the shot for two. Misses. Watterson the rebound. Lacking support. Will he go alone? He dishes it back. Torrance hangs in the air and gets it to roll.
Nice move by Torrance, and a little off balance, but took the shot and made it very well.
We're back to 9 points now. Michael McKay off the leg of Torrance. It goes out. Watterson goes across to take it. Nice try, Watto. Ninnis inbounds. Schaefer. Oh, nicely worked. Gets it to McKay for two.
Nice backdoor play there. Trevor Torrance turned his head on defense and watched the ball.
98 to 87. Margin still 11. They can't break through this barrier. Tony Pinder, top of the key. What will he do? Watterson. Grace. They figured out the low post. Grace doesn't go against his man, and why should he? He hits the two. So Grace has 22 points now. Mark Davis traveled according to the umpire. Double dribble.
Double dribble call there on Mark Davis. Changed hands.
Ninnis. Almost. Bad luck for Scotty Ninnis looking for the steal there. Great anticipation. Didn't quite come off that time. Ricky Grace. Torrance gets it to Crawford. Can he spark the team? Not with that shot, he can't. Pinder goes in, finds the loose ball, and misses, and he's annoyed with that.
Number 8, over the arm, which is two
Schaefer.
now.
Called for the foul. Pinder just ruining the misfortune there of no three-point play.
Exactly. 3-point play reduces the lead very comfortably to 6.
Wildcats not dead yet.
Now, we've watched them year after year come back after they've almost dug a grave for themselves in these situations. Dennis is going to take a lot of character now to pull this one out.
The margin is back to 7. They need some steals now, some turnovers at the other end here to win this, but the 36ers have been very composed tonight. They won't give it up easily. McKay. Ninnis goes for 3. Misses. That will help the Wildcats cause. Crawford brings it down now. He's outnumbered. Needs support. Watterson decides to take them on. No, he dishes it off. Torrance goes in. Couldn't make the basket. Gets the rebound. Slapped away by Pierce. And McKay comes up with it. And he settles it down. Ninnis gets a great shot off.
You saw the composure of the young man then where he posted up low. He knew he could turn around, had Grace on his back, but had a lot more height than Grace.
Oh, Grace does well, too. They were coming from all directions, and Grace, eyes only for the basket, drove in and got the 2.
Great shooter. great shooter.
This has been a top game, John.
Well, when you consider a pre-season, they've not yet really hit their straps. They've got a lot more defenses to put together. Yes, it's a great game.
McKay underneath the basket. Gets it to go. Delicately, just rolling it off his fingertips there. The margin is back to 9. Grace the shot. Didn't go. Crawford the rebound. Hangs in the air, and again the three-point opportunity goes begging.
Number 8 on the red.
Good effort by Crawford.
We've got 2 shots. Got a substitution there. That's enough, okay?
Schaefer has 4 fouls. But he's not happy.
Look at this rebound. A great rebound. There's the contact. There's the shot. And, of course, James Crawford, is upset that he missed the three-point opportunity.
Crawford has 25 points to the moment. So it seems that he's back in business, James Crawford. And that's great news, not only for the Wildcats, but for the competition. Makes them both at the line. Last season, the Wildcats shot 72% at the line. Probably on about that course tonight. Here's Minnis. Green to McKay. Schaefer. Not much size on the court now for the 36ers. Only really Davis. The shot is off. Brilliantly done. He hung in the air, did McKay, and sunk it for 2. The lead is out to 9 once more. The steal. Great steal by McKay. He'll drive it to the basket. He's got support from Minnis. He doesn't need it. Oh, great stuff by Michael McKay. Back come the Wildcats. End-to-end stuff. Great defense there by Davis. They're really putting their bodies on the line. This is March, and both these sides, all these players, throwing themselves around.
Long way to go in the season, and McKay showing what a street player can do. He hit that tough shot, came back and got the steal and made the layup.
Here we go.
Watterson's got it now. The margin back to 11 points. Watterson. Pinder. Well, he got rid of Davis and goes in and makes a layup of it.
Nice move by Pinder through that fake. 106 playing 97. The Wildcats are down and need to come back. It's all or nothing now.
I'm surprised Davis can jump that high at this stage of the game. And there was no ball. There's McKay in the corner. Works it back out. Minnis has got it. Just under 7 minutes remaining, so plenty of time for the Wildcats. McKay got the hot hand, and he hits again for 3.
Can't allow that guy to get the shot off and make it. He's up and running then.
Why not give him the ball? 18 points for Michael McKay. He spent most of the first half on the bench. This is Crawford. Oh, deft touch by Crawford.
Still a 10-point margin.
Try as they might, they can't break that down. There's Green, out to Minnis. Goes for the three-pointer, misses. They need the rebound, the Wildcats. Minnis does brilliantly to Schaefer. Schaefer hangs in the air, goes again, draws the foul. Well, Tom Schaefer. Great stuff there. He's an untidy-looking customer, but gee, he works hard.
Side ball.
Let's look at the endeavour here. Schaefer makes the shot, rims out, gets up for the second one, and of course the ball has gone to the side because it has been adjudged by Sid Stevens that the foul occurred before the act of shooting.
And that was a good call watching the replay. There's Al Green.
And we've got the Wildcats in a 2-3 zone right now, trying to break up the tempo. Watterson.
Grace the steal. Goes in, makes the layup. No, well, he just dunks it in.
And that's what they're after. Looking to put the pressure on the ball handlers and get the fast breaks.
8 points the difference. Just under 6 minutes, 5:45 remaining. So stacks of time. McKay, though, can he do it again? No, he can't. Strong rebound in there by Clausen, and Clausen makes the 2. The big fellow coming off the bench and getting a valuable 2 points that time. So it's back out to 10. Crawford. How many times have we seen that over the years? Hanging in the air like a hang glider and just drops it in for 2.
James Crawford wants to win this game. He's out there trying his hardest. He's got Mark Davis underneath, and then he's on the offensive end. Well,
this game deserves a grandstand finish, whichever way it goes. Not wishing ill to the 36ers, but hopefully it finishes with a crowd on their feet. Either way, Green gets it back to McKay, who goes for 3. No, it was 2. His foot was on the line. He got the 2.
Just on the line. Good ball distribution there by the 36ers. Found the open man.
Watterson now. 10 points. The difference is Pinder goes in and misses what he should have gone near, and he knows it. So this could be a big turnaround as McKay brings it down and he settles things down.
Still a 10-point margin. 4 minutes, 30 remaining.
Now the clock is the enemy of the Wildcats.
They've gone back to a man-to-man defense now.
Al Green double team. Davis, McKay, Schaefer with Pinder in his face. Misses. Stripped of the ball was Davis by Grace. Away comes Crawford. James Crawford now. 4 on 3 momentarily. The 36ers are back. And Grace is fouled, and McKay is happy to be called for that foul.
Hand foul, his first.
Have we got a timeout? Jeff Weeks thinks we have. A couple of familiar faces there. Bob and Cal. Now, what's the call here? There's some consternation about whether, in fact, there was a timeout called. Alan Black says I didn't call a timeout, I think.
Time in.
Well, the
Time in.
bench was showing a timeout, but it wasn't cancelled by the officials.
Well, Jeff Weeks isn't the only one confused. We are, and so are the dancers. They were just getting into their routine, and off they go. That was the silent samba. Pinder inbounding to Watterson. 10 points the difference. Crawford goes against Schaefer. Doesn't make the basket. Allen has been strong under there all night. Doesn't get it to go. Still Allen working. But it comes to McKay. Well, they were banging under the boards there. Schaefer's got it now. And they'll play the clock. They've got plenty of time, Adelaide. Shot clock showing 19, so why put it up? That makes a great coach. Schaefer hits it for 2.
It's a tough 2-pointer now. That makes it doubly difficult for the Wildcats. They need to score points, and they're not able to stop the 36ers on the offense. 12
points the difference. Grace goes inside. Schaefer, well, he just doesn't stop. He gets a hand on that one and knocks it out. Mike Ellis is coming in. There's the time remaining. 1:15 to 1:03, so it's after 12 now. As big as it's been in the second half, 12 points. It's hung around the 11-point, 10-point margin for 3 Grace hits. So it's back to 9.
Still a way to go in this last quarter. The Wildcats can come back, but they need a lot more of those long shots.
Cheap foul, Ricky Grace.
15 on the hip, pushing away to the side. Substitution.
Trying to make something out of nothing there, John.
Gambling now. His 4th foul.
Adelaide ball from the side, and of course a little more time consumed there. They get a new clock when they go to the side after the foul. Well, he put it up ambitiously. Schaefer rebounded by Allen, given away. Schaefer back on defense. Well, he made the mistake. He made a miss.
He did. Jeff Allen turned, knowing they need the points for the fast break. Threw it. Pinder couldn't pick it up, and Schaefer got it back.
Pierce to Schaefer. Green gives it to Davis. Schaefer setting the screen. Now he moves away. Finds himself in open space. Takes on the defense. Dishes it back to Davis. Davis fall away jumper doesn't go. Green reaching over the top will be called for the foul. That's a tough call, but we see it so many times. The man in front arching his back and Green reaching over. And in the context of the league, that's a foul.
Let's pick it up in replay and you'll see what we're talking about here. Grace in front, but Al Green has reached across into that imaginary cylinder above, and he's got the foul.
So we've got a timeout. Timeout is called. 2:23 remaining in the game. It's 1:15 to 1:06. The 36ers lead it. .115 to 1:06. Not noughts and crosses. 2:23 remaining. And without Mark Bradtke, they'd be feeling pretty happy, these 36ers tonight, John.
They've done very, very well. Defensively, they've done very, very well. What can the Wildcats do now, Dennis? They need to come out and gamble. It's no good sitting back comfortably being beaten. They've got to gamble. Will they come out and press all over? Full court press? Take the risks?
Grace with 29 points. Scored 34 on opening night. Goes to 30 now. Gets both of them. 7 points is the margin. 2:23 remains. And they're pressing now. And they force the turnover. Torrance off the glass. Will it go? No, it doesn't. Well,
In the story of this quarter, missed opportunities by the Wildcats.
well, Adelaide failed to break the press. They got 3 men on the ball carrier with the Wildcats. Here's Pierce working against Ellis. 2 veterans. Davis flicks it across to Schaefer. Now Schaefer in the corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. This is a question of playing solid defense now. Davis drives baseline. Allen was there to greet him. The foul is called against Allen.
That's a professional move by Davis. Ran the clock down. Under 2 minutes remaining. Went to the floor. Strong. Let's have a look at it on replay now and watch Davis take the strong baseline move. Allen gets up strong, trying to cover it out, makes body contact.
Mark Davis. Misses. Uncharacteristically. The man who hails from Philadelphia has been a great player for the Adelaide 36ers. He pops it in. 116 to 108. We're inside 145 now. It's down to 141, the clock and running. Grace surrounded, gets the shot up, makes it, and gets the three-pointer. He'll go to the line.
That's a great move by Grace. He went around Al Green, who was very, very close in attention. Then he went around Clawson, and I think Davis was also there.
Okay, so let's look at that scoreline. 116 to 110. 138 remaining. Now, if he pops this in, it's back to 5. And the pressure could go back on the 36ers. A lot of hometown support for the Wildcats. So he pops it in. 5-point spread now.
Let's look at this full court pressure. Can they come up with the ball again? What have we got? A timeout.
Timeout called by Alan Black, was it? No, it was called by Don Shipway. So we've got a timeout. 1:38 remaining. The 36ers lead by 5. Shipway's timeout, John. Why?
He needs to overcome the full court pressure being exerted by the Wildcats, and he also must also be concerned that his team's in the team foul situation.
So the Wildcats are rolling the dice now, and it's called against Ellis. The foul is called against Ellis.
Number 6 for the arm.
They'll get the ball from the side again. 3 fouls on Mike Ellis. The clock ran down just a couple of seconds.
That foul now puts the Wildcats in the team foul situation. They have to be very careful now.
Different complexion on things, and they break the press easily that time, the 36ers. Grace almost got the steal. Green now. He won't give it up. Green looking to force the foul. Oh, Davis, superb move under the basket.
Superlatives we've run out of with that man. He's played extremely well.
Grace comes back. Ball knocked away by Pierce. 36ers ball, and that should be the ball game.
Well, 1:14 remaining. It's difficult. And, of course, Dennis, the other situation that's occurred this year is that the NBL are not allowing the option of taking the ball from the side in a fouling situation. So the team that's fouled must take the shots.
Here's Pierce.
So the Wildcats, therefore, can come out and intentionally foul to gain advantage.
Well, they've got to foul somebody pretty quickly. Pierce. Schaefer's got it now. He was fouled. He gets the shot off. He'll go to the line. So we're down to 55 seconds. 118 to 111. I suppose the problem was Pierce had the ball. You like to pick your shooter if you go to foul.
Exactly.
You don't want to send a fellow like Darryl Pierce to the line because he'll get the 2 anyway. There's the time remaining.
And, of course, the other situation that's occurred is that it puts a lot of pressure on the officials to decide whether it is an intentional foul or an incidental foul.
Problem is tonight, if you were a Wildcat out there, who would you pick? They've all shot pretty well, haven't they?
You certainly wouldn't pick this man.
Schaefer gets them both. He's had a fine game tonight. 22 points for Tom Schaefer. Ellis brings it down. We're down to 50 seconds now. The margin's still at 9. They've got to put it up quickly. It comes off the leg of Green. Fox stops at 47.
They want a three-point play here. Whether it's a three-point situation from the floor or a foul, they need a three-point.
Ellis over the top, knocked away by Davis, but still the clock is running down. We're down to 43 seconds now. Grace goes for 3 and misses, but he was fouled. He'll go to the line.
And of course, that could have been a bonus right there. Could have been a 4-point play.
Yep. Because they're in the team foul situation, the 36ers. Just stripped him down the arm.
Look at Al Green. He's not going to allow any easy shots.
Grace at the line. 34 points tonight. Spent quite a portion of the third term on the bench. He's shooting 3 here. Doesn't get the roll. 36ers love that.
A little pressure. At all levels, pressure comes into sport.
He's got one to come. 120 to 112. 41 seconds remaining. So he makes 2 of 3. Has 35 points. And we've got a timeout called by, I think, Alan Black. The light showing on both coaches over there. 120 to 113. 41 seconds remaining then. We'll be back very shortly. .41 seconds remaining. What was Alan Black talking about?
Well, he has to gamble right now. He has to gamble. He has to be all over, take the risk. He knows that the 36ers have to attempt the shot. He has to get up and force the error.
Grace trying to reach in there. Pierce has got it. We're down to 35 seconds now. Green brings it down. Again, Grace right there. And Grace disputing the ball with Green. And it will be a foul against Grace, which I think will put him out of the game. How many is that on Grace?
That will be his 5th.
So he'll go out. That is not really, well, I suppose it does. 31 seconds remaining. The option doesn't exist now, so...
Look at the replay there. Good, quick hands there by Grace. He had to gamble. Grace was a little bit unsure. One of the experimental rules, Dennis, they've talked about this year is allowing 6 fouls per individual in the NBL. It has been rejected at this stage.
So Green has no alternative. He must go to the line.
He must go to the line. This puts pressure on the shooter, gives the opposition an opportunity. I think puts ultimate pressure on the officials.
Yeah, it's a tough call, that, isn't it?
It is tough.
It swings some of the advantage back to the team that perhaps committed the foul.
Yep, may intentionally foul and do it well enough to get away with it.
We're down to 22 seconds. Ellis driving the baseline. Can he make it? Oh, that's a superb attempt. Didn't go. And that's it. Schaefer comes up with the ball, 120 to 113. It would have been a last gasp thing anyway. Davis goes in and puts it out of reach. Big slam.
I guess that's a full stop on the match.
Yes, he underlined it. Close, goes for 3. It was close. TT, there's the buzzer. It's all over. And the 36ers win by 9, and that's a marvelous effort. And look at those broad smiles. Mark Bradtke out of their lineup tonight. They've won all 3 games in this series. And you got the feeling tonight they did it pretty easily. They were never really stretched. They always seem to have this game under their thumb.
Very comfortably all night.
Big effort by the 36ers. 2 old rivals, the 36ers and the Wildcats. And as you can see, Al Green is enjoying that. They've come to Perth. They haven't lost a game. They came a little bit underdone for the charity shield by their own admission. Well, tonight they've come out strong. Mark Davis, one of the major reasons there in the background. Again, he's going to be a power in the NBL. The 36ers win it. Our final scoreline, 122 to 113. Just checking the scorers. And I would imagine Ricky Grace has come up tops. He has with 36. Crawford 31. Mark Davis 27. Tom Schaefer 22. Michael McKay 20. Darryl Pierce 19. Jeff Allen 15. Tony Pinter 13. Scott Dennis 13. And Michael Ellis scored 10. So that's it from the Perth Entertainment Centre. It's a big crowd, as we've said. We'll be back shortly to wrap it up. The 36ers winners tonight, 122 to 113, and John Gardner talk us through these comparative stats.
Well, let's look at the field shooting percentage to start with. The 36 is 51%. Not much in that, really. Free foul shots, 24 to 15. That shows that they were much better at taking it to the hoop. Rebounds, not too bad. The Perth Wildcats up. They'd be happy with that. But, of course, Bradtke's omission from the lineup helped in that situation. Turnovers, 19 to 15. Not an awful lot in it, Dennis. I guess we'd have to put the game down in its final balance to the fact that, in my mind, the 36ers played better defense and had far more composure on offense. They were able to take the ball to the hoop when they wanted it. They had a lot more balance on the floor, and they were able to get out there when they wanted to and score the baskets when they counted.
Don Shipway has reason to be happy. He's talking now to Neil Pope.
Thanks, Dennis. Don Shipway, congratulations on a great fighting win without the assistance of Mark Bradtke.
Well, that shows a little character of the team, which we hope is going to come to the forefront. You know, that when people, when things are a little tough, either you lose a star player or a focus point, and it gives other people the opportunity to perform. And I was very pleased because Mark is a big loss, and we would normally feel it on the boards, but I think everyone battled, and what I was very pleased about was the defensive effort, and we got in offense a lot quicker than what we have been.
In the first quarter, the Wildcats came out really hot, and I think you went into the first break 7 points down. What did you say to the fellas then to inspire them?
Well, we just wanted to continue doing the same thing. I thought we came back. They had a little bit bigger break. We started off in the zone. I was a little bit concerned about letting Grace get off quickly, and for the Perth team to come out and get a few of the breaks which seemed to then lift them as a side. So we wanted to maintain that. It's always a little gamble, and then your people started hitting the shots on the outside, and so we switched it up. But I thought that was a thing that maybe changed it up a little bit. And then when we went into the defence, Grace, although it surprised me, in fact, he picked up 18, but I thought it stopped his penetration, his dishing off. And people like Torrance, I thought, never got in the game. They didn't feed him off it.
Tom Schaefer, your new recruit from the US, he looks to be a good find.
Yeah, Tom's a terrific player. I mean, he's a quality athlete. But the thing with Tom is that he's a worker, and that's what we recruited. We think we now have a team of workers.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks a lot.
Neil Poe down there. So the semi-finals in the K-Mart Classic. Brisbane against Illawarra, that's the first semi. And Adelaide against East Melbourne to be played in Sydney next weekend. Repeating our final score here, 36ers 122, the Wildcats 113. From the Entertainment Centre, good night. There's more basketball action next Sunday morning at 11:30. Stay with us now for the Sunday edition of the NBC Today Show and Meet the Press.
The K-Mart Classic was brought to you by Mazda. Unrivaled quality, pure pleasure. Nike Air and McDonald's.